Hello. For those of you watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter, I'm Carmen Collins. I am the social media lead for Cisco's talent brand, and I'm doing a series of videos on Facebook Live on my Facebook page called Coastal Social. The reason I call it Coastal Social is that I live in the beautiful state of Florida, where there's plenty of coastline and plenty of beautiful things to show you about the state where I live. And I also like to talk about social media, so it's the perfect way to do it while I'm visiting the many places that I love to visit in Florida. I can show you where I live, my backyard, and then I can also talk a little bit about social media. So today, I am in beautiful Manasota Key, and I'm going to do like a 360 turn so you can see the beach behind me. And here in Manasota Key, there's a beach called Blind Pass Beach. And the reason it's called Blind Pass Beach is that the road into the key, so the key is like a barrier island. So the road into the key is filled with beautiful canopy trees and palm trees, and you're driving through like a tunnel of trees. And then you come around this really big curve, and when you come around the curve, it opens up, and all you can see is the beautiful water of the Gulf Coast and the beautiful beach. So it's called Blind Pass because you better watch out, because it's a blind pass. Here at Blind Pass Beach is one of my favorite places to do one of my favorite activities here in Florida, and that is shark teeth hunting. Yes, shark teeth hunting. Manasota Key is about 20 minutes south of Venice, Florida, and Venice, Florida is most known for being the shark tooth capital of the world. And there are a lot of prehistoric shark's teeth. The ones you find are millions and millions and millions of years old. They're usually black and they're pointy, just like a triangle. That's how you know what to look for. And they are washing up from the ocean millions and millions of years ago where they landed. So that's what we like to do on Blind Pass Beach. It's a great place to go shark teeth hunting. I think we spent about 45 minutes to an hour today with a sifter. We have a scooper, which is a sifter, and we sift out the sand, and then when we see what's left after we get rid of the sand, we see shells and we see shark's teeth. And I think we found about 70 or 80 today, so we never come away from Blind Pass Beach without finding a lot of shark's teeth. So that's the coastal part of Coastal Social. I've introduced you to wonderful Manasota Key, Florida. And now I want to talk a little bit about the social part of Coastal Social. I want to talk today about hashtags. It's actually one of my biggest pet peeves about social media, so if I get a little passionate, you know why. And when I talk about hashtags, I'm generally talking about using them on Twitter and Instagram. Yes, Facebook has hashtags now, and yes, LinkedIn has hashtags now, but they work a little differently than on Twitter and Instagram. So when I'm talking about hashtags, I'm talking about Twitter and Instagram. Now, a hashtag is essentially a way to group a conversation. And I think a lot of people miss the concept, the original concept of what a hashtag does. Now, you have to think about a hashtag like a party, right? When you go to a party, you want to be where all the cool kids are. You want to be having the conversation with a bunch of people, having a good time, talking about fun things. You're all laughing and joking and having a good time. What you don't want to be is the person off in the corner, being a wallflower, talking to the wall, talking to yourself. That's not what you want to be. You want to be talking to the most people and networking and having fun. That's the purpose of a hashtag. A hashtag's purpose is to get your content in front of as many people as possible who don't already follow you. So if you are talking, let's say, about travel, and you are let's say you're a real estate agent here in Florida, and you want to talk to people about coming to visit Florida and falling in love with it and moving here like I did, and you want to get in on that conversation, travel, you're going to use hashtag travel because it's probably the largest conversation about that people are having about traveling wherever they're traveling. So that's one example. Now, what I see a lot of brands do, and drives me crazy, is that they will take a popular hashtag and they will add their brand in front of it and create a new hashtag. Now, I guess it depends on who you are as a brand. Let's say you're Doritos or Dunkin' Donuts and you have a huge audience and big marketing dollars, and you can put a commercial on TV and tell people about your hashtag and tell them to go use it. That conversation is going to be pretty big anyway, because you've educated people on how to use your hashtag, what you're doing, how to have that conversation with you. So essentially, if you have a big marketing budget and you create your own hashtag, you're inviting people to the party and they're coming to the party. But let's say you're going to a party and you add your brand name in front of a hashtag. I'm going to use an example. There is a recruiting conference that the We Are Cisco team, the Talent Brand team, goes to every year. It's called the Grace Hopper Celebration of Women. I love planning and doing social for this conference because it really encourages young women to get into technology and find jobs at really cool tech companies like Cisco. And their hashtag each year is hashtag GHC and then the year after it. So this year it will be hashtag GHC17. Now, that is the hashtag that Grace Hopper has decided to invite you to. That's the party that's happening at Grace Hopper. That's where the conversation is happening. That's where they've told the attendees to be talking with them. But if you're a brand and you add your brand name in front of that hashtag, for example, if let's say that we use hashtag Cisco GHC17, what we're doing is we're cutting down our conversation. We're cutting down the people who can see the content that we're posting. Now, a lot of brands do this because they think they're branding something. Well, I'm branding my presence at this conference, or I'm branding my presence in this conversation. It doesn't necessarily work that way unless you've done some free promotion or you've told people that you have this hashtag, please use the hashtag, have this conversation with us. So you're actually cutting your conversation. You're having a conversation with yourself. If you're a hashtag Google, GHC17. If you're hashtag HP, GHC17, you're cutting your conversation. The big conversation, the big hashtag that everyone's using is hashtag GHC17. So that's the one that you're going to want to use to get your content in front of the attendees at that conference, or the people talking about hashtag travel, or the people talking about a TV show, or whatever conversation you and your business thinks that getting into is going to help drive awareness for you. Now, I will say there is an exception to my rant, and that is if you are running a contest. If you're running a contest and you're using a hashtag to track it, you're going to want that hashtag to be as unique as possible. So you're not going to want to use hashtag GHC17, for example, because there's so much conversation happening on that hashtag that your contest entries will get lost, and it will be very hard to monitor which is an actual entry and which is just a conversation. So in the case of a goal that is tracking a contest, you're going to want to have your unique hashtag. If you're going to do that, I encourage you, like we do often and on the Cisco Talent Brand team, is use more than one hashtag. That's okay. On Instagram, I think you can use up to 30. I'm sure that number is wrong, but you can use several hashtags. And on Twitter, you can use, I don't know, I think usually 2 or 3 is about the max that people can take in a tweet with hashtags. And you can combine your unique hashtag that you're using to track a contest with a more popular hashtag so that you're doing both things. You're meeting 2 goals. You're getting your content in front of an audience that is having a conversation, and then you're also allowing people to participate in your contest, and it's easier to manage. So that is an exception to the rule. But I see brands doing this all the time, and I just don't think that they understand what the purpose of a hashtag is. And if you think about it in terms of a party, and that you want to be having a conversation and hanging out with all the cool kids at the party and not talking to yourself at the party, I think it helps people understand what a hashtag is meant to do. I'll bring up another example for you because I've actually looked at the metrics on this one so I can talk a little bit better about it. Let's say we want to talk to the world about how cool our Cisco interns are, because they are very cool and they've just gone back to school for the summer, and after the summer, and I'm very, very sad because I had such a great summer with them. But if we used hashtag Cisco intern, only Cisco interns are having that conversation. What we want to do is tell the world how awesome it is, one, to intern at Cisco, and how awesome our interns are at Cisco. So what we have done is split the two hashtags. We use hashtag Cisco and hashtag intern. On their own, hashtag Cisco and hashtag intern have really big conversations. Therefore, when we split the hashtag into two pieces, instead of having a hashtag that no one is using, now we are getting into the conversation, or actually two conversations that a lot of people are having. Now, if you use hashtag Cisco intern, I think if you use it on Instagram, there's probably 20 or 30 instances of someone using that hashtag. If you look at hashtag Cisco, there's thousands of instances that people have used Cisco. And then if you look at intern, there's many thousands of people who are using hashtag intern. So by splitting the hashtag and by thinking about hashtags as a party and a conversation that we want to get in on, we've taken content and extended our reach, but still branded it in a way that it's clear that we're talking about Cisco and interns. So that's just one example for you of a way that we use hashtags to get in front of a larger conversation. So that's all from me today about hashtags. That was my little soapbox about hashtags. I'd love to hear your thoughts wherever you're watching this, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. And if there are any topics coming up in your brain that you're like, I'm really interested about this, let me know. Maybe I can add that to my next topic from Coastal Social. So that's me coming to you today from beautiful Manasota Key. You can hear the waves in the background. You can see that I'm standing in the Gulf of Mexico. It's so warm today. It's probably, I don't know, it's got to be at least 100 degrees outside. This is why we moved to Florida, because you can't shovel sunshine, folks. No snow here. Just beautiful. The only thing that's white here is beautiful white sand. So thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next episode of Coastal Social. Thanks!